Hello, beautiful friends. It's Catherine. Happy Friday to you. If you are siphoning off your energy, here's what it looks like. You're thinking about doing something and you're putting all your energy into 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 steps ahead, and you're not dealing with what is right in front of you. The gift that keeps on giving and that allows us to expand into creativity, being open, allowing us to stay supple and flexible in our thinking, is allowing ourselves to be fully in the present. It is the greatest gift. That's why they call it the present. And all else really is an illusion, because even when we're planning something out and we get lost in the details, we get lost in the minutia of trying to plan something, trying to create something, and think of it, 5 to 10 steps out from where we are right now. We haven't even finished the next thing. All of that is hallucinatory. It's an illusion. We only and never have the power and the control to deal with what is right in front of us. There is no way to, even if we've got it set up in our minds that we can do that. From a linear mindset, we know that this is a contracted way of being because we're trying to siphon off our energy towards something that's totally unwritten. It's not real. It's not there. In other words, it's a total illusion and it's hallucinatory. But when we are in the ego linear mindset and that very contracted way of being, we think that we can plan out and plan for all of the different permutations that can show up. And we think that we can, be in the presence of, well, if this happens, then I'll do this. And if I do this now, then that will happen later. All of that is hallucination. All of it. There is no power or control that you have over anything. You can have the best laid plans in the universe. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a plan. And that plan that's taking you, moments and maybe hours to strategize and try to be clever about, that's always going to be indicative that you are in ego, that you are in a place where you think you have control over everything that not just is happening now, but everything in the future. And you have control of what leads to what comes next, and you're prepared and planned for all of it. Meanwhile, you've siphoned off all of your attention and intention towards something that is non-existent. It's unwritten. The future and the past are hallucination. They are just expressions of the now. How we think about our past, there's only one way we're thinking about it. We're thinking about it now. How are we thinking about our future? How are we thinking about it? We're thinking about it now. So those places that we assign our attention and energy to do not actually exist. And yet when we try to plan and strategize and be clever, the ego says, well, this is what we need to orient ourselves to say, this is who we are. And the ego will always search that out. The ego will always try to attempt to orient itself to something because it needs a mooring. It constantly needs a frame of reference. Your ego is constantly asking you, how is it here? How is it there? With these really illusory constructs that end up siphoning off your attention, your creativity, your imagination, your energy, your inspiration towards something that is a phantom. It's a ghost. So always and ever, the best mode of creating your reality, of manifesting anything, is to just be with what is. Be with what is right in front of you. And in fact, really drop into it. Savor it. Be with it. Let it be present. Let it consume you and fill you up. Let the inspiration bloom. Let the idea germinate. Let the creative impulse incubate within you for a while before taking any action. Just simply be with it. There is so much to mine in this level of presence with your creative potential, your imagination, with the next step. You get to expand into it instead of seeing it as a series of to-dos and things to mark off on a list. This is life. And yet we constantly treat it like something that we have to get through and push past. When we're in that presence and we can savor what is next, no matter what we're doing, and we have to stop voting on the quality of what is next, or this moment is better than the last moment, or this next endeavor, this next creative impulse, this next manifestation is better than the one before. Again, that puts us in a place of ego where we're constantly voting on and judging every single now moment, instead of dropping into the goodness that exists in that, the way our linear mind sets it up, this pocket of time. But the truth about the now moment is that it is infinite. It is expansive. It is where everything happens. It is a kind of vastness that holds the everythingness of all the ideas, all the resources that you think are outwardly sourced, they're actually inwardly sourced. And the moment you decide to really expand into the now moment with whatever you're creating, whatever you're doing, you allow yourself to reach in and realize, fully recognize all the resources that you're asking for actually exist in your own innate inner technology. This is true every single time. This is how we start concretizing the new earth without spinning out in a million different directions all at once, without trying to plan and strategize and be clever about life. We must be present with it and treat each moment as the gift that it is. That's why they call it the present. If you want to know how to play with these potentials, I'm teaching a very powerful program called Living Intuitively, Embodied Superconscious Flow, and it starts on October 5th. This is a double program. So each week of live calls for 6 weeks has a supplemental video. So it's like getting 2 calls every week for 6 weeks. This is a kind of program and a way of teaching a program that I love teaching because it accelerates the material. It accelerates your grasping of the material, allows you to deepen into, with a lot of help, a lot of support, the information that's being shared. This is not a course about learning the ABCs of intuition. This is a course about developing a life where you live intuitively. You're making choices that are based on what is right in front of you every single day. With our range of choices and decisions that we make in a single day in our lives, what if you could be more present with what is and allow for the silent knowledge that dwells within you to come forward and allow you to know from a place of surety, a place of truth, how and where to act. From a place of divine inspiration, knowing where your attention and energy best flows, is most valued, offers the most service. This is a way of being, and it is a way of being that concretizes new earth. This is not just learning about your intuition. It's not learning about where to find that parking space at the drop of a hat. It's not even knowing when to water your plants, although I do use it for that. It is a way of being. It is a way of living. It is a way of embodying what you are always meant to be. It is a way of living at the level of the frequency you are being ushered into very quickly at a very accelerated rate, and doing so with a sense of flow and grace and joy. If that sounds wonderful to you, please join us for this program. We start on October 5th. First module opens on October 2nd. When you join, you have access to my mentorship group, my private mentorship group that I've been teaching throughout most of this year. It's been going since April. And so you'll be able to see some of the other things that I offer in there. And this Facebook group allows us to have discussion and support. And as always, I get to deliver bonuses and supplemental material that will help you to really integrate and process the information in this program. So if this piques your interest, if your higher self is listening and giving you the nudge right now, there's a reason. So I've got the link down below. Check it out. There are some payment plans available. Don't miss out on this program. If you're going to sign up for one program for the end of this year that you want to help you really support you in moving into 2023 with a whole fresh outlook and a different way of approaching life, this is your program.